I think what has really happened is a sophistication of the blues. I think it emerged from here. It wasn't just blues anymore. It's blues with education, with blues with ingenuity, variations of the blues. In my teens, one of the guys in my band, who I never quite understood, until one day I drove him home because it was too late for him to catch the bus. And he said, "Well, George, why don't you come in and have a cup of coffee?" And he put on Just Friends. And I said, "Man, who is that?" And he said, "You never heard of Charlie Parker?" I said, "No, I never heard of Charlie Parker." But I heard him that night. And he's been in my mind ever since. That was the beginning of my desire to play jazz music. Then I went on to, I heard Art Tatum, and of course the many fine jazz musicians that exist today. The great Dizzy Gillespie, Miles Davis. I always heard his name, but I didn't know what he was doing. But after I learned more about jazz, I began to appreciate the other artists and how fine they were too. So he pulled me in. Charlie Parker was the source for me. And I was convinced after hearing Charlie Parker and then hearing Art Tatum, I knew that an instrument could speak. You didn't have to open your mouth to tell a story. And that's, I think, the thing that really attracted me to jazz music. I was always into music, and I always had a guitar in my hand from the time my stepfather laid a ukulele on me. I was 7 years old, and at 9 years old, I had the guitar in my hands. When I think of people like Eddie Cleanhead Benson and Charlie Parker, I mean, that's the giant. And I met people here who told me some incredible stories about their encounters with Charlie and his own words in some of the publications they had. I don't think anyone will ever get the story correct because I've never heard anybody actually create quite the stir that Charlie Parker. And it's been, what, 20 years since he's been dead? More, 30 years. It's been 30 years. And yet no one has made quite the impact that he's had. So he had a lot that never came out about Charlie Parker. But it just shows the kind of mentality that must have been here in Kansas City for him to nurture that and to build up to that kind of artist, over the years. So Kansas City holds a special place in many people's hearts. When we think of Kansas City, I think about the clubs that we played in both places, both sides of the border, as a matter of fact. But it was always a real music. People were used to hearing a lot of blues, but some good jazz.